Good news. So I think we'll be starting right now. March 16th, we are playing God of War Ascension, and to start off we're going to play a bit of the single player. Then we'll hop into multiplayer and see how that goes. This guy is my multiplayer guy. He's with Hades. I've been playing a bit of the Trial of Gods, mostly single player, just to sort of get my to get started. Definitely don't want to be playing that mode by yourself with the support class. That's what I had trouble with first, but we'll hop into single player. As you can see here, I'm about 5 hours in, chapter 17. So definitely don't be watching this if you haven't played the single player. So far into the story, we just finished off the first of the Furies. We met the scribe here. As you can see, he was the first mortal imprisoned by the Furies. We're going after the second, who sort of put on another little illusion for him. We've got all of the elemental weapons. I'd say I really like the Hades, because it steals life from the enemies, gives them to you. It's really sort of a powerful weapon. Sort of the abilities you get for sort of doing full combos, and that affects the entire group of enemies you're fighting, which is very useful. So the one thing about the combo system is you don't want to get hit. I mean, that's sort of a general thing, but your rage meter on the right drains with every hit you get from enemies. Bigger hits will drain more than just normal hits. So if you can manage groups well enough, you get very powerful. It's sort of something that takes a little while to get used to with the combat system. He's also got very good L L1 attacks, L1 square, and L1 triangle. I'm gonna pause this for a second. Because I got enough red orbs to finally fully power this thing. Now I've unlocked the R2 magic. Which I'm not exactly sure what that one does. Just open the ground and unleash the Hades arms. Sounds pretty good. So yeah, they're all four of these. The fire one's the first one you get. There's only 3 upgrades for that, as they want you to get that upgraded quickly to have something to work with while you work on the rest of them. And I've got the Amulet of Ouroboros, which sort of lets you undo things that have been damaged, sort of turn back time on them, which so far what I've been doing is going back through a lot of stuff I was at. Like the first 3-4 hours, fixing things to open up new paths for me to get through. This is also one of the other new things with the God of War games, sort of the grappling. They let you do sort of grapple with enemies to grab them, both out of the air and just off the ground. You also use a lot of puzzles where you're pulling levers just by grappling onto them and just dragging them. And this was a place you play in the demo, but not at this specific time. And so this game takes place so you may actually see the very controversial scene and trophies for this stuff during this stream.
Toy. It is your heart that will betray you.
Kratos knew he was close. Close to a time when illusion would have no power over him. Close to the defeat of the Furies, and finally, close to the freedom he so desperately sought.
The sooner we get past Delos, the happier I'll be.
They say it is cursed. Too bad we can't sail south of Delos.
They say the great Archimedes built that statue for Apollo.
He's gone. Let us leave this wretched place. Quickly, for we are cursed too!
Okay, this is from the E3 demo. So yeah, we're putting damage onto this big guy without having to actually fight him as much. So whenever you can use that thing, your head glows green. You can sort of move it back and forth between healing and decaying. Sometimes you have to decay stuff to a certain point to usually solve puzzles. I got to use it earlier to be able to lock this sort of switch in place. And then I healed it to let the switch go and be able to get to the place I wanted to. That's sort of like what I had to do here, is sort of not do it all fully. Despite them not really giving you new weapons, the elemental weapons all behave like 4 different weapons, essentially. Like, if you had the Hades blades in 3, that's what these basically handle like. They look like. As you can see, they sort of morph into that while you're using them. And so each of the different elements has their own sort of orbs that they give you for vaporizing the enemies, I guess. Hades gives you life. I believe the electricity gives you red orbs. I forget. It's mentioned all here. Blue orbs for the electricity, red orbs for the ice, and gold orbs for the fire. I'm really just starting to figure out what the heck the sort of how to do the vaporizing. Which with the Hades, it's mainly about sort of doing those combos, getting that sort of thing going. And if it does enough damage on enemies that gets them while they're, ready for a brutal kill, that's what that does. So they've both done this. Crap. This is their magical tech. Seems like that's a lot more useful when they're right near me. we go, let's try this now. Seems like better as a crowd control mechanic. And usually on these mini bosses, if you let them get like a big hit on you, you'll lose all of your rage meter. So it's all about trying to get your hits in when you can. Getting out. There's another thing they've done is sort of rather than just having the QTE sort of finisher, you have these sequences where you're basically just trying to press square or triangle to do attacks on the enemy, dodging their attempts to sort of hit you and break out of it, and ultimately end in sort of a finisher, which for all those mini bosses gets you usually their health, magic, or some sort of bonus, extra bonus, for getting them to finishing them off that way. And these weapons that you pick up, they're sort of attached to your circle button. So this one, you sort of ram with the shield, and then do a little attack at the end. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, squeezing in here. Sometimes it doesn't do a great job of sort of letting you know that this is a sequence where you got to. I hate these things. Standing in that area, you start losing health. So I'm trying to attack her just by not attacking her. Letting these sort of group things kill her as quickly as possible. Very annoying. think I have anything to upgrade right now. 12,000. Okay, I can upgrade that. Unlock the rage move for that. Okay, there we go. His head's not glowing, so there's nothing that seems to. Need fixing. Started getting something there. Definitely missing something here. I'll figure it out in the next minute. I'm going to switch over to multiplayer. Seems like I have to be going at this completely wrong way. 'Cause I'm supposed to grapple up to that thing. It's only appearing when I'm getting up here. Alright, I think we'll quit out. So the multiplayer actually is quite fun. They did a good job of sort of rethinking certain aspects of God of War to make it fit multiplayer while not making it feel like sort of a lazy tacked on mode. Alright, let's try the team favor of the God mode. Sort of all along this stuff, they got a lot of sort of the challenges from the Call of Duty series that has come all the rage. all this sort of stuff. What you do, you get bonus XP, stuff based on your allegiance. Mostly seem to be when aligned with a certain guy, kill X amount of people with each of the weapons. These ones are all doing a certain number of things in each of the modes. Taking down a bunch of enemies in the PvE stuff, the Trials of the Gods. Just sort of it's a co-op horde mode with up to 2 people. You can also do it by yourself if you want, though it's a bit harder. Though I nearly got to the end of one of the levels. I ended up dying on one of the elephant bosses. So it doesn't look like this is going to go too well for this part. I think we might skip out on this. See if we can just do 2-player Trial of the Gods. That didn't last for long. This very well may just be my connection. Because the stream takes up a significant portion of my bandwidth. So I may not be able to actually play with anybody. So I may end up having to do some solo Trial of the Gods. See how that goes. As we saw earlier, that was working just fine. So with each of these, you create a generic warrior. With each one you get helmet, upper armor, and lower armor as your sort of main equipment set. Because I pre-ordered it and got the collector's edition, I got a bunch of extra stuff here already unlocked. They have different bonuses to all my different attributes there. They have some really cool sort of designs. These are different bonuses, sort of appeal to different of the sort of gods you can align yourself with. Hades is a lot more physical attack, so I picked ones that give bonuses to that stuff. Versus something like Armor of Perseus or probably try Odysseus armor for this guy. It lowers my physical resist, which I'm not a huge fan of. But there I got a huge amount of power. I think that would be better for Ares, sort of your base physical warrior sort of guy. Achilles is the one I've been using, which has more physical resist bonuses. It'd be nice to have more like loadout slots. It seems like you only have the one. And these ones here that give elemental bonuses seem a lot better for Poseidon. I forget who the fourth one is. Right here you can just switch between them. Zeus is the other one. Yeah, Zeus and Poseidon are the ones you want. I believe elemental. Poseidon's more of the support class. This is more elemental. Well, it's not really much of an issue with the horde stuff, because I'm just fighting enemies. There's no stealth there. It's more your physical. So you try and spec out your builds sort of like that. As you level up, you unlock more stuff. Okay, I unlocked this. Elemental resist, physical resist. And as you can see here, a bunch of these are unlocked by completing certain challenges first. Some of these are unlocked just by finding finding chests to get the parts. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to connect to anybody. So that's not a surprise. This has nothing to do with the game itself. This is completely on my connection. And as you play with each of these armor sets, they rank up. So they get better, so it's sort of rewards you for playing longer with each of the sort of loadouts that you have. I don't know if they keep loadouts for each of these things. Okay, they do. So you have a loadout for each of the allegiances, but not like multiple loadouts per allegiance. Here are the abilities you have. Magic attacks. This is, I believe... Yeah, this is the R2 attack. So here I grab a guy and strip like half his health to give it to me. Item, this is the L2 attack. This is all stealth based, which doesn't interest me at all here. So I may end up trying to unlock something else here. So either of these would be better for me, for this stuff. Then Relic is sort of a perk. So here I gain health on a brutal kill. Which is essentially when you beat up an enemy to the point where he's got the red grapple mark on top of him. So they've done a good job of sort of building that stuff out. Here you can even change the appearance a bit, change sort of the race, and change the color of their armor. A lot of weird sort of colors here. I've had copper on mine. So there's a decent amount of customization. In weapons, you got your three basic types: spears, hammers, and swords. Again, with lots of stuff here that are based on sort of unlocking by chest or completing challenges, or just ranking up. Being Hades, a lot of his weapons just have spikes on them. The particular hammer I'd like to get, this one. That's just ridiculous right there. Alright, enough messing with this. Let's go do solo Trial of the Gods. So we'll be going to the Olympus stage, which you saw earlier if you were here at the very beginning. This one's very easy to knock enemies off the stage.
Rotunda of Olympus.
This is sort of the stage you first see when you start up the mode. As you go here to sort of see what each of the alliances offers you, and you just grapple them R1, they go flying off out of the stage. Just to explain some of the mechanics of this, up on the top left you see sort of my special attacks. Here's L1 in square, L1 triangle, just my L2, which is that stealth. It's useless when the enemies are here. Each of those runs on a cooldown, not too long. There are perks that can reduce that cooldown if you want that.
1 minute remaining.
R2 is going to be the magic attack, which on my life bar there, you would see blue. You'd see the blue bar filled.
Remaining.
For me to be able to do that. So right now I'm trying to
10 seconds to go.
probably used up all my time just on this round, just taking her out. That's sort of one of the goals of this, just trying to take out enemies, but take them out quickly. There's going to be a little timeout.
Defeated.
So definitely you want to make best use of your time as you can. That's probably the hardest of the stages I've played so far. So yeah, I'm nearly up to the point where I can level up all those weapons and equipment. This is the max XP I got. Then here's sort of any challenges I completed during that level. So then you can sort of mess with your equipment if you want to, or check up on your labors. This one we go into the form of Hercules, which is from God of War 3. Sort of that big arena that you fought Hercules in. He makes an appearance in this and even fights in one of the rounds. This one's also pretty hard. Not as hard as the Olympus one. So the cool thing about the multiplayer is a lot of the maps are based on previous games. So there's one based on the Desert of Lost Souls from God of War 1. There's another one based on God of War 1. There's this one based on 3.
Within Mount Olympus, the theater of the gods reveals.
Here you see Hercules, his gauntlets.
Have witnessed countless champions reveling.
It'd be awesome to get those gauntlets.
Suffering through humiliating defeat. Begin.
Occasionally comes in and does that. Those guys are bombs when they die. So you gotta be careful with them. If you beat the levels quickly, you get gold tier, which increases sort of the rewards you get.
Round two.
They don't let you sort of... You spend a lot of time. They let you spend a lot of time sort of preparing.
Soul Stealer.
Take care of these guys. Annoying.
Remaining. Seconds remaining. Silver. Round 3.
Okay, and here's where Hercules comes into play. Oh, he just knocked me out of the ring. That's the end of that round.
Defeated.
I should be able to level up off of that. Do not die within 5 minutes. Kill 3 rounds in the forum. Yeah, unlimited weapon special cooldown for 7 seconds. So that's good. Good thing to have. And here's Desert of Lost Souls.
Souls hidden within the countless.
This one's probably the most sort of elaborate level. There are traps on here that you can set for enemies or yourself. You can kill yourself with them if you don't pay attention. It's just multi-tier level. So you start them by going to these little statues and hitting R1. I just tried to come in and just drop kick me.
Silver.
And unlike the other maps, the rounds don't begin until you start them. So that plays a different sort of gives a different challenge for the. So I'm gonna leave them there. Turn on this trap. Kill one of them. Yeah, not surprised that takes a lot longer to cool down.
Silver.
And it seems like your secondary weapons get reset between each round. It took me a while to figure out I could just climb up these buildings. I figure out that was the plan there. There we go, set that trap. I'm not sure that you can set those traps multiple times.
Legendary. Fortune Hunter.
So you can sort of pick where you want to start the next tier at. Next round. So there's one over there, but I don't have the means of getting over there. So I think we'll do it over here. Oh yeah, I forgot these enemies are ones I gotta pull off the...
Silver.
Okay, there's a chest up here. You have to be careful because you can just fall off here and die, and that's the end of your game. I know I've done that before. Still can't get up there. So we'll do it up here. This should be the elephant boss.
Minute remaining. Soul Stealer. Seconds remaining.
And there's my death.
Defeated.
So that's the farthest I've gotten. But I like this mode because it's nice and quick. It was maybe like 5, 6, 7 minutes right there. And I'll be off into the next one. Though there aren't that many maps for this right now. A bunch of different challenges. Leveled up the weapons and all my armor, it looks like. I believe I have to go actually unlock those ranks. I don't. Okay, they just keep ranking up. It's just the abilities that have to do that.
Rotunda of Olympus.
Yeah, it seems to be just those 3 maps right now. Well, since I've got what is essentially the season pass, I'm looking forward to them adding new maps for this. So I guess this is a little bit more exciting than the just the normal multiplayer stuff. Yeah, 'cause if I want to get these sort of gold tiers, I need to be just getting these guys and knocking them out. These guys are just trying to drop kick me. That's a little weird for God of War.
Goal. Round 2. Remaining. Remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds to go.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to beat this.
Defeated.
That's as far as I've got on that level. So you definitely don't want to be taking these on yourself, expecting to really do that well, without sort of... maybe you can level up and those will get easier as time goes on. That's a little weird. But, alright, I think that's good enough for today with this stuff.